After last week's double eviction, the house is spinning and the game is wide open. Welcome to Big Brother. Good evening, I'm Julie Chen Moonves. Welcome to Big Brother. Now that Dan's biggest mistake has turned on their own, the doors are wide open for anyone to be evicted next. Who will it be? We'll find out soon enough. But first, to get this week underway, we have to start by crowning two new heads of household.
Hey everyone! It's time for the head of household competition. Head out to the backyard and we'll get things started. Welcome to the BV Skyscraper, the place where you all will be competing to become one of the next HOHs. This competition is called Get on My Level, and here's how it works. Everyone will be stationed in their own private elevator car. And when the screen in front of you shows the up arrow, you must start pressing your buttons as fast as you can. But when the red stop sign shows, it will no longer count. The first hero and villain to hit their button 100 times and reach the 100th floor of the BB Skyscraper will become the next head of household. Who's ready to play Get on My Level?
So, Julie and I feel like everyone's lying to us. And I've had a feeling that someone had been leaking the entire plan to someone for rounds now. I'm really anxious about this. I gotta win.
I really want to win this one, like very badly.
This competition is difficult. It's going to require a lot of patience, something that I don't have. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull this one off.
This competition starts now.
Ugh, I don't want to win, but this comp is so much fun. Like, I want to play and try to win, but I don't think that I should. Ugh.
Personally, I do not want to win this HOH. I know that if I won, I'd 100% have to go after Ross and Bella. But to be quite honest, I don't think that they're after me. I feel pretty good with everyone in the house right now, especially after the work that I put in during the double eviction.
Congratulations, Julia! You are the new head of household.
Everyone rushes inside and starts scrambling, most just looking to secure their own safety. James, on the other hand, wants to make sure that this double goes his way. He pulls Julia aside and starts talking things out. She says that she feels bad for targeting Season 3 yet again, but she doesn't know what else to do. James, who is also looking to protect Season 3, asks if there is anyone that she could put up as a pawn next to one of them. Julia says she hasn't talked much to Emma and hasn't said a word to Reza. James says that if it were up to him, he'd go for the easy move here and just do that.
I hate this so much. This is so stressful. I don't want Season 3 to think I'm after them, but I genuinely have no one else to put up. I'm just not that close with Reza at all.
The two nominees I've decided to put up are Reza and Emma.
So yeah, I'm feeling good right now, as I should. People don't think I'm making moves? What was that then?
Okay, I say this every time, but like I do actually need to win. Like if David, Ross, or Bella win, I'm a goner. They were coming after me in the double. If Anthony H wasn't so stupid, I'd be out of the house right now.
Congratulations, Emma! You have won the golden power of veto.
With a spot open on the block, Dan's biggest mistake rushes to meet up with Julia. But now, the group is severely fractured, and everyone has a different agenda. Ross, David, and Bella all push very hard for Julia to backdoor Luke or Juliana. Anthony H says that they don't want to make waves right now, though, and that they should just make an easy move and evict Reza. Ross, David, and Bella say that making waves means nothing anymore. They want to be upsetting anyone. Anthony H says that he thinks Julia should put one of them up as a pawn. Maeve, sensing where Anthony is going with this, tries to get him to stop. Bella says to the group that if anyone wants to be a pawn, go ahead, but she isn't doing it. Anthony H, feeling brave and wanting to protect Season 3, says that Julia can nominate him.
I have decided to use the power of veto on myself. Anthony Hayes.
It literally puts me to sleep at night thinking about how badly Bella, Ross, and David want me out. I think it's cute how threatened they are by me.
I don't really need the HOH. Like, I want it, but do I need it? Not really. If Juliana wins, that'll be good, I think. I don't know.
As much as I would love to win this comp, because it was a thrill when I played last season, I'd have no clue what to do if I won HOH. I feel very unsafe after that double.
Anthony V and Aaron, left with the choice of either evicting Reza, someone they trust, or evicting Anthony H, the person they don't trust at all, decide that they are going to push for Anthony H to leave, despite it breaking up the group. They pull in James and Alex, two people that have already been looking to take out Hayes. The four of them create a final four entitled All Aboard and go to flip the vote.
I like the group with Aaron, James, and Alex. I think a core four is great to go far in the game, as proven in the previous season.
Anthony and Aaron reach out to the Robe crew, getting them on board with flipping the vote. They all say that with Anthony H being sketchy as of late, they have no problem sending him home. Alex goes to James, telling him that they have to tell Maeve that this is happening. James says that he doesn't think so though. Maeve is in too deep with Anthony. Alex, thinking that this is ridiculous, goes and tells her right at the last minute.
By a vote of 10-2, Anthony Hayes, you are evicted from the Big Brother house.
I just lost my closest ally. It's fine. I'm fine. That was literally the dumbest thing Anthony has done in his entire life.
That deal I made with Anthony V and David a while back really came in handy tonight. It ended up being a huge play.
My senses are tingling that another round is gonna happen. I'm right at 40, so hopefully I can get another 20 this round.
Bella, slightly nervous that she isn't going to pull this win out, calls for Luke and Juliana to try and make a deal. She says that if she wins, she isn't coming after either of them, and hopes it's the same on their end.
Oh girlie, her femme behavior is unreal. She's so funny if she thinks I buy her BS.
When I get mad or frustrated or sad, I always try harder to win. And I am mad, so I'm trying to win this one.
Congratulations, Juliana. You are the first head of household.
Hey, Bella, Ross, and David, get out of my mentions. There's no way you actually want to help me. Those three frustrate me beyond belief. Bella, Ross, and David watched me squirm helplessly for 17 days. But now it's my turn.
If Bella thought that telling Juliana that she's not coming after her is gonna stop her from putting her up, she's wrong. Oh, Bella is sweating.
Juliana won, which means that the heroes have to be close to. This isn't a prediction, but I hope that Alex wins. I'll try to manifest it.
Alex is finished, which means, congratulations, Alex and Juliana. You are the new heads of household.
I'm really happy at the moment. It's just a nice feeling to know I pulled myself out of a situation I didn't like and felt confident enough to play the game and go for power.
Thank God Juliana and Alex won HOH. I'm close to both of them. I'm 99.9% sure that someone from the other side is going home.
Alex wins the other HOH. I'm nervous because I was the HOH that sent him home in Season 1, and I was partially responsible for flipping the vote onto him. I think I can get James to keep him off of my back, but it's still a concern.
Juliana and Alex meet up right after the HOH. Juliana pushes that this has to be the week that they take a shot at Bella and Ross. Alex agrees, saying that they can't keep playing scared. They agree that it would be far too risky to have one of them nominate them both, but it could be even riskier to go for a backdoor. They say that one of them should nominate Bella, and the other one should nominate Ross. That way, one of them is guaranteed to be on the block after the HVV is played. The topic then shifts to who the pawns next to Bella and Ross could be. Juliana says that she's had it out for Julia and Caitlin for a while now, so nominating them could work. Alex is fine with all of these options. Juliana says that she'd rather nominate Bella. Alex is fine with this, as he is closer to Bella than he is to Ross. As for the pawns, Alex plans to nominate Julia, and Juliana, Caitlin. Alex reports back to his newly formed group of James, Erin, and Anthony. He says that this needs to stay on the DL for now. He is going to tell his nominees ahead of time, but he wants to be the one to do it. Ross and Julia cannot know about this plan.
So Juliana wants Bella out, which is great, because Ross and Bella's minions will be after Luke and Juliana, and they'll be after the minions. And guess who's in the middle? Me, the one and only.
Me as getting out who I want is and not having blood in my hands is. I'm literally so rude. I was besties with Bella yesterday.
About 2 minutes after Alex specified this, Julia reaches out, asking if he is planning on nominating her.
James told her, unless it's some freak coincidence that she texted me right after I told him, but he wants to stay close with her and then turn on me with them.
Alex says that he is, but he really isn't targeting her. He just knows that of the people in the big alliance, they have talked the least, and he needs people to nominate. He says that if she doesn't win the HVV, he'd be more than willing to save her with the veto. After that, Alex and Juliana tell the rest of their nominees the plan, telling them that no one specifically is being targeted. They wish them all the best of luck.
This is bad. If Juliana nominates people who are gonna throw the comp and she remains HOH, I'm probably going home.
If Juliana puts me up, it's such a dumb move. I'm one of the only people in the game that are not after her. Like, if she puts me up, like, what good is that for her?
In a way, I'm glad Alex and Juliana won HOH since I'm pretty close with them. But on the other hand, they could definitely throw a curveball and put me up there.
Hey everyone, it's time for the nomination ceremony. This is the nomination ceremony. It is our duty as the heads of household to nominate 2 house guests for eviction. In our nomination box are the keys of the house guest we are nominating for eviction. We will each turn 2 keys to lock in our nominations, and their faces will appear on the memory wall. The first house guest I have nominated is... The next house guest I have nominated is... I have nominated you, Caitlin, and you, Bella, because I can. So I did.
The first house guest I have nominated is... The next house guest I have nominated is... I've nominated you, Julia, and you, Ross, because we both have people we're closer with than the other. That's just the game, and I hope this doesn't kill any trust we've created so far. I also had to make a new chat to let both of you know I was putting you up, so I hope you can see where I'm coming from. Sorry, that sounds mean, but it's not. That being said, you both have a solid amount of comp wins throughout this season and past, so go killing the HVV. Good luck, and I love you guys. This nomination ceremony is adjourned.
Never mind, I'm good. Oops. Like, wouldn't it have been such a bad move if she put me up?
I just want someone besides Juliana, Luke, and Reza to go after me so I can have new targets. But like, also maybe I'll go home this week and I don't have to worry about that.
Alex put up Ross and Juliana put up Bella, meaning that no matter who wins the heroes versus villains competition, one of them is still on the block. I'm in a pickle here. Let's see how I can turn this minus into a positive.
Two duos have been split up by the nominations, putting them all in jeopardy. Who will win safety in the heroes versus villains competition? Stay with us. Welcome back to Big Brother. With Bella and Ross and Caitlin and Julia split up by the nominations, at least one member of each duo will be left in danger. How will they manage this?
Bella talks with Anthony about how she is nervous about staying this week. She thinks that not enough people supported her last week in taking out Grace, and thinks that if she stays on the block, she could be going home. Anthony agrees, saying that if she could win the HVV comp, she'd be in a great spot. Maybe she can see if Ross would throw it to her. Bella says she doubts it, but she could ask. With that, Bella goes to Ross, asking if he'd be willing to throw the comp. Ross is very hesitant at first, but looking at it objectively, he thinks he has a better shot to stay against Julia than Bella does against Caitlin. He agrees that he will try his best to throw the comp.
I feel like our best chance as a group is for me to lose. That way we have Alex as HOH, we can work with him more. And I think Julia is easier to beat in veto than K-Pow.
Hasn't Julia won vetoes like a lot? Like, I'm not going to disagree with Ross, though. I'm sure he knows what he's doing, and I don't want to stay up on the block.
Hey everyone, it's time for the Heroes vs. Villains competition. Head out to the backyard. This is the Heroes vs. Villains competition, where Alex's nominees will battle Juliana's nominees in order to earn safety for the week. This competition is called Greeking Out, and here's how it works. This competition will be played in rounds. In each round, you'll be given a grid of letters. In 30 seconds, you must try to make the longest word you can by connecting the letters either vertically, horizontally, or diagonally. You will earn 1 point for each letter in a correctly spelled word. The team with the most combined points at the end of 5 rounds will be safe for the week and dethrone the HOH that nominated them. Who is ready to play Greeking Out?
This seems like anagrams, which I'm good at sometimes. Hopefully Bella and I can do well.
I definitely feel super good about this. Me and my mom play that puzzle game against each other, which is the same thing pretty much, so I hope it goes well.
Bella answered with feet. You cannot make that word on this board. Caitlin answered with hacking. You can also not make this word on this board. Julia answered with lent. That is a correctly spelled 4-letter word. Ross did not answer in time.
Okay, good start. They didn't get any points.
I'm an idiot. I really thought I knew how to do this, but I clearly have no idea what to do.
Julia and Ross are in the lead with 4 points against Bella and Caitlin with 0. Bella answered with laws. That is a correctly spelled 4-letter word. Caitlin answered with piles. That is a correctly spelled 5-letter word. Julia did not answer in time. Ross did not answer in time. The score is now 9-4 with Bella and Caitlin leading.
I'm looking at the board and I see dreams. I'm so proud of myself for finding a 6-letter word.
Bella did not answer in time.
Oh my god, how did I not lock it in time?
Caitlin answered with text. That is a correctly spelled 5-letter word. Julia answered with dreams. That is a correctly spelled 6-letter word. Ross did not answer in time.
Ross didn't answer again. He's starting to get sus.
I feel bad for Julia here. She really wants to win, and I'm getting 0 points.
Bella and Caitlin still lead 14-10. Bella answered with draw. That is a correctly spelled 4-letter word. Caitlin answered with mouse. That is a correctly spelled 5-letter word.
Mouse! I'm so proud of that. 5 points for Bella and me.
Julia answered with Juilliard. This word is incorrectly spelled. Ross did not answer in time.
Okay, so why is Ross not answering?
Going into the final round, Caitlin and Bella lead 23-10. Bella answered with brown. That is a correctly spelled 5-letter word. Caitlin answered with Mars. That is a correctly spelled 4-letter word. Julia answered with bow. That is a correctly spelled 3-letter word. Ross did not send in a word. That makes the final score 32-13, which means congratulations, Caitlin and Bella. You have won the competition and are safe for the week. Sorry, Juliana. That means you have been dethroned as the head of household.
With Ross's help, that competition would have gone fine. but at least Caitlin and Bella are safe this week.
I'm glad to be safe, but the win isn't as fulfilling knowing that Ross threw it, and I feel bad for Julia.
Julia goes to Caitlin and is pissed off. She says that there is no way that Ross actually tried to help her out in that comp, and was totally trying to throw it to Bella. She is really annoyed. All the more reason to campaign against him. Juliana goes to Luke and Reza, saying that based off what she saw, it was so clear that Ross threw it to Bella to give her safety. Although she is annoyed by this, she says that she can go for HOH again next week, and she trusts Alex, which is good.
Why can't Ross be more like Caitlin and just evict his girlfriend? Like, I hate people in love. That's disgusting.
Luke goes to Alex, saying that he really wants Ross out. Alex agrees. They are both mad that he's thrown 2 comps just so Bella can get her way. If they can't get rid of Bella this week, they might as well take out her closest ally.
If Ross wants to throw the competition, then he can just go home.
Alex goes to Julia with this info, saying that Ross absolutely threw the comp. If the 2 of them stay the nominees, he is going to do everything he can to make sure that it is Ross that goes out the door. Julia thanks him for this, saying that he trusts him completely.
Hey everyone, it's time to pick players for the veto competition. Only 6 people will participate in the veto competition: the head of household, the 2 nominees, and 3 other players selected by random draw. Will the nominees please join me up here? I, along with the 2 nominees, will pull a chip to determine the other players competing. If your name is drawn, you will also compete. As HOH, I will choose first. Obviously, I want Julia to come off the block, but if we're getting down to specifics, I don't want to be the one to do it. I hope I pick someone that will use the veto on her. Caitlin.
Aaron.
I know what to do. Text both people that'll save them with the veto, and then proceed to lose. Solid plan, I know. Except last time I did that, I actually won.
Reza.
Ross's chances of winning this veto against the people that are playing aren't amazing.
Big Brother will inform us when the competition is to begin. Good luck!
James goes to Alex before the veto, saying that if one of the nominees did come down, David should probably be the replacement. Alex, already having this as his plan, agrees. James goes on to explain his reasoning, saying that David has definitely been throwing every comp so far to keep a low profile before jury. If they keep him any longer, he'll start comp beasting his way to the end. They can't take that chance.
Snake. Noun. A long, limbless reptile which has no eyelids, a short tail, and jaws that are capable of considerable extension. Some snakes have a venomous bite. Synonyms. James Bull.
James is scared of David no longer throwing comps in jury because he's planning on doing the exact same thing.
Anthony and Aaron talk similarly. They say that of all of the people that are able to go home this week, they'd want it to be David. But, with that being said, if the veto wasn't used and they had to decide between Ross and Julia, they actually would prefer to keep Ross in the game and send Julia out the door.
If the veto isn't used, we need Julia out. I hate to say it because she's such a nice person, but on season 2, she was the target to be the 3rd jury member. She ended up being the 9th. Like, I can't forget that.
Anthony, wanting to know where others are at, goes to James to see if he'd be willing to keep Ross. James, thinking that Anthony is absolutely crazy, says that there is absolutely no way he is voting to keep Ross over Julia.
James gets on my nerves. Ross? Over Julia? Is it me? He's gotta be working with her. We just need David up, make my life easier. He throws comps, he plays both sides, has deals with everyone, and only loyal to one person. Oh wait, why does that sound like me? Literally go me.
After hearing this news from Anthony, Aaron goes to Ross saying that he needs to win, as people are coming for him hard. Ross says that he knows, and he will be giving this veto his all. Hopefully, he is able to come down and they can backdoor a larger threat.
Hey everyone, it's time for the Power of Veto competition. Head to separate rooms. Big Brother will call you out to the backyard when it is your turn to compete.
Houseguests! Big Brother has started their own line of Russian nesting dolls featuring your faces. But the prototype got misprinted and everything got mixed up. It's your job to identify the misprint. This competition is called Russian Nesting Dolls, and here's how it works. You will be examining 5 misprinted dolls, each of which has a mashup of 3 houseguests' faces. On go, start examining the dolls to figure out who the houseguests are. Once you think you know which 3 houseguests make up the doll, lock in your answer. The first person to correctly guess all 5 dolls will win the golden power of veto. Who's ready to play Russian nesting dolls? I think I won this competition back in season 1, so hopefully I can do well again. All of the pictures are in black and white, which is making this a lot harder. I think I still know this first one though. I'm getting the hang of this. I clearly see that this is Bella's eyes, Dan's face, and my mouth. I think I'm doing very well, but this last one is hard because it's so small. I know it's Anthony V's eyes and Ross's mouth, but I don't know the face.
I want Julia to come off the block, but I don't want to be the one to do it. I've got to go for the win just in case though. The first one seems easy. It's Aaron's eyes, Anthony H's mouth, and David's face. Wait, hold on. Aaron's eyes, Anthony's mouth, David's face. Wait, what the heck? What is wrong?
This is my 3rd time doing this competition, and I've been bad all 3 times. Good thing I'm not trying to win.
It took me a couple of tries to get the first one, but I think I get it now.
This second one is much easier. For instance, those are so clearly Bella's eyes. Anyone could get that.
I literally have no idea whose eyes these are. It was Bella. Her eyes were tilted. I underestimated this competition.
Those are Aaron's eyes. That is literally Anthony's mouth. And that is David's nose. What the hell is this competition? This is literally embarrassing.
Okay, I've won this competition before. Hopefully I can do it again. Okay, that first one took a bit. I think I can bounce back though.
I'm really trying to get in the zone. I need to win this veto.
I hate that as the rounds go on, the dolls get smaller. The faces are getting so much harder to see.
I'm now just realizing that both Caitlin and Julia have won this competition before, so that's great.
Okay, I don't think that went terribly. I might have won.
At this point, I'm just waiting for the time to run out. This is us. Oh, for the love of God. Is that face Matt McCartney? That was horrendous.
It's time to reveal the results of the veto competition. Alex finished with a time of 20 minutes. Alex, you are currently in the lead. Aaron finished with a time of 18 minutes and 24 seconds. Aaron, you have beat Alex's time and are now in the lead. Reza finished with a time of 20 minutes. Sorry, Reza, that's not enough to beat Aaron's time. Julia finished with a time of 6 minutes and 10 seconds. Julia, you have taken the lead. Ross finished with a time of 7 minutes and 41 seconds. Sorry, Ross, that's not enough to beat Julia's time. And finally, Caitlin finished with a time of 3 minutes and 48 seconds, which means congratulations, Caitlin, you have won the Golden Power Veto.
Before making any plans, Alex goes to Caitlin just to double check her plans for using the veto. Caitlin confirms to him that she is in fact going to save Julia. Alex goes to Aaron, Anthony, and James, telling them that as they suspected, Caitlin is using the veto to save Julia. The three of them all say that David really should be the replacement nominee. Alex says that he's more than fine with this. They would just have to lock in a target. James says that as much as he wants Ross out, if David goes up on the block, he has to go home. If David stays, he will be coming back with a vengeance, and no one wants to face that. Bella, looking to keep Ross safe this week, goes to Alex to see where his head is at. Alex, who pretty much has made up his mind, is completely honest with her. He says that he wants Ross to stay as well, but his replacement nominee is going to be David to make sure that happens. Bella says that she really doesn't think that is wise, and proposes a totally new idea that has never been mentioned before. Backdoor someone from Season 3! If he puts up Luke, he'd be making the house very happy.
Being HOH has made me realize how little I'm actually working with Bella. There's a difference between strategizing with someone and asking them to keep you safe.
Bella goes back to Robe, warning them of the fact that David might be the replacement nominee this week. She says that she mentioned Luke names as a possible backdoor, but she doesn't know if it will stick. David, now enraged, marches himself right up to Alex.
Ugh, I'm so funny. Me talking to Robe. OMG, I hope Alex changes his mind. Me talking to Alex. So you want to backdoor David, right?
Here we go again. I feel like I'm going to be the replacement nominee. I can't find a way to talk my way out of it if he's not going to talk to me about it. It's very frustrating. I get why Alex would put me up, but at least talk to me so I can figure out why and see if I can get you to put up someone else.
David goes to Alex, throwing anyone under the bus to try and stay off the block. He says that back in the beginning of the game, the Alliance, consisting of himself, Erin, Bella, Ross, and Emma, was reunited, and they have been running the game. And leading it all is Erin. If he backdoored Erin, he'd be making no one upset. He said that from there, he would have no problem turning on that group, and they could form a core 3 with James, someone else that he really, really trusts.
Ooh, this conversation with David is juicy! Erin may be landing a spot on my bad list.
Alex said it's likely to be me that's going up, and that's fine, as long as he understands the consequences that are to follow. Because I will get the votes to stay, and I will win the next HOH, and Alex, you will be the one packing your bags. And do you know why? It's because I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Alex goes to Maeve with this new information. Maeve is more than willing to talk things out, as she has felt out of the loop since her closest ally, Anthony H., was evicted. After Alex gives her the info that David just told him, the two of them begin to piece some things together. They break the house up into 3 very distinctive groups, all of which are threats and striving for power. 1. Season 3, being Juliana, Luke, and Reza. 3 people that they know they need to work with. 2. The reunited robe, being Bella, Ross, David, Emma, and most importantly, Erin, someone who has pretended to be on their side, along with Anthony V. And the 3rd side, James. After David said that the core 3 would be with James, as he's close with him, they quickly realized that James has his hands in everyone's pockets yet again. He's tight with David and Ross, Bella, Erin, and Emma, Juliana, Luke, and Reza, Anthony, Julia, Caitlin, and them. He's loyal to absolutely no one. They didn't realize how much trouble they would be in if they went to the end with James. They now know that he needs to go ASAP. Is now the time to take the shot? After breaking down these 3 groups, they acknowledge that they are on the bottom of each and every one of them. It's time they make their own power dynamic, the most dangerous one yet. Thus, a secret 4th group was created, consisting of Alex and Maeve. The Leftovers. They have been thrown out by everyone else, but they are still around. You can preheat them, but you cannot defeat them.
I think I'm getting good at keeping James over on my side, but if he ever tried to jump ship to the other, boy oh boy do I have the dirt on him. I have an important decision to make.
Hopefully Caitlin will use the veto to take down Julia. That way we can definitely take out a strong guy. Hopefully Ross.
Hey everyone, it's time for the veto meeting. This is the veto meeting. Julia and Ross have been nominated for eviction, but I have the power to veto one of the nominations. I have decided to use the power of veto on Julia. Alex, because I have just vetoed one of your nominations for eviction, you must now name a new house guest as a replacement nominee.
David, sorry.
This veto meeting is adjourned.
I don't want to do David dirty and start campaigning behind his back, but I'm sure he'd do the same. Respect to him. May the best man win.
I'm on the block, and I need 6 votes to stay. Ross is my number 1, and I don't want to say bad things about him. but I'll say what I need to stay in the game. Lie, cheat, steal. I'll say whatever as long as it helps me later.
Two legends of the game are left on the block, and only one will survive. Who will it be? Stay with us. Welcome back to Big Brother. David and Ross are on the block next to each other, and one of them will be leaving by the end of the night. But how well do they fare campaigning against one another?
Bella, who very clearly is on Team Ross in this situation, goes around to many members of the house to gauge where they are at. To her delight, many people seem to be on board with keeping him. Erin is one of Bella's biggest supporters in this, and spreads it around the house.
I sure hope Ross doesn't go home. That would suck a lot.
Erin goes to Juliana, Reza, and Luke, saying that she knows that Ross is a huge threat and that he needs to go, but David is scary, and if they leave him in the game, he's going to awaken and become unstoppable. It doesn't take much convincing though, as the three of them are totally on board. Erin also talks to James about this. Once again, little convincing is needed, as James was already pushing for David to leave as well. Erin says that it's so important for David to go, as he is a comp threat waiting in the shadows that is playing the middle right now. He is too threatening to keep around. Surprisingly, the person that puts up the biggest backlash to this is Emma. Emma says that Bella is probably her closest ally in the game, so of course she would want to help her out. But she thinks that Bella would cut both of them before she turns on Ross, which is dangerous. Erin says that this is actually a really good point, and something that she wasn't considering before.
I really don't want to see David go. I feel like Ross is a bigger threat to me. Plus, I trust David more.
Despite having a glimmer of hope though, David pulls Ross aside. He tells him that he is his closest ally, and he hates that they are against each other. But, at the end of the day, he doesn't see a way for himself to win, whereas Ross has a shot. David says that he wants Ross to stay, and that he isn't going to go hard and campaign. Normally, he would throw caution to the wind and whip up a storm, but this time, he just wants to go peacefully and give Ross the best chance that he can. Ross says that he really appreciates it, and that he'll be winning this for him.
The more and more I think about it, the more the lies I'm telling don't sit right with me, and the more I want to lie myself down for Ross. It kills every fiber in my being, but it does me no good to stay this week when I know I'll have to claw my way to the end like I did last time. I know Ross has what it takes to win this game. I'm not going to ask to be voted out, but I'm not going to campaign against them. Ross, I'm giving you this chance. Give him hell, buddy.
David is going to make me cry.
Ross or David, one of them will be leaving the house tonight. Let's head to the living room to start tonight's live vote and eviction. House guests, it's time for tonight's live vote and eviction. Ross, David, in just moments, your housemates will cast their votes to evict live. But before they do, you each have a final chance to sway their votes with one brief statement. Ross, you're up first.
Hi everyone. I've already talked to each of you today about why to keep me. I meant everything that I said, and if you decide to keep me in the game tonight, I will keep my word. I always try to play an honest game, which I believe is the most important thing to get from a player. Thank you all for making this season what it is. I've been enjoying it, and I hope you can give me the chance to continue.
Thank you, Ross. David, you're up.
Guys, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart that we were able to play this game together again. I knew my chances of winning the season would be very low, and from what I'm hearing, it's going to be me. I appreciate those of you who took the time to talk about the game with me. I've had so much fun playing the game, and I wouldn't change my mind for anything. Love you guys. Kill it.
Thank you both. It's now time for the live vote to begin. The head of household is not allowed to vote. Neither are the two nominees. One at a time, the rest of you will enter the diary room and cast your vote to evict. Bella, you're up first tonight. Please head to the diary room. For 3 straight seasons, Bella has stuck with Ross through thick and thin. There should be no changing that tonight. Hi Bella, please cast your vote to evict.
I sadly vote to evict David.
James was the one pushing for David to go up on the block. So, will he have his vote tonight? Hi James, please cast your vote to evict.
I vote to evict David.
Julia knows that Ross threw the Heroes vs. Villains competition this week. So, is that enough reason to cast a vote against him? Hi Julia, please cast your vote to evict.
I vote to evict Ross.
Caitlin and Julia have historically been on the same page. So, will Caitlin's vote follow Julia's vote tonight? Hi Caitlin, please cast your vote to evict.
I have to stick to my word. I sadly vote to evict David.
Anthony and David have been partners since the beginning of the game. But will Anthony honor that tonight? Hi Anthony, please cast your vote to evict.
I vote to evict David.
The vote is currently 4 votes to evict David and 1 vote to evict Ross. Maeve and Alex decided together to nominate David this week. So, there's no going back now. Hi Maeve, please cast your vote to evict.
I vote to evict David.
Emma knows that Bella will always choose Ross over her in the game. But will she have the numbers to take him out? Hi Emma, please cast your vote to evict.
I sadly vote to evict David.
It's official, with 6 votes to evict David, David will be leaving the house tonight. But let's see how the rest of the votes fall. Hi Reza, please cast your vote to evict.
I vote to evict David.
Luke has called out the BB Evil 3, consisting of Ross, Bella, and Erin. So will he use his vote tonight to evict one of them? Hi Luke, please cast your vote to evict.
I vote to evict David.
Erin was one of the main people set on evicting David. So, her vote should follow that tonight. Hi Erin, please cast your vote to evict.
David.
For being one of the main targets for the first half of the season, Juliana and the rest of Season 3 have somehow slipped in the shadows this week. Hi Juliana, please cast your vote to evict.
David.
All of the votes are in. Let's give the news to the houseguests. Houseguests, all of the votes are in. When I reveal the vote, the evicted houseguest will have just a few moments to say their goodbyes, gather his belongings, and walk out the front door. By a vote of 10 to 1, David, you are evicted from the Big Brother house.
Good game, guys. The pleasure was all mine.
David, this is a tough week for you. Unfortunately, you didn't have a chance to save yourself in a competition. Do you think something could have been different if you competed in the HVV or the veto competition?
Saying that this was a tough week for me that would be an understatement. Once the twist of the heroes versus villains competition was announced, I knew that if I were to go, it would probably have to be through a back door because of how strong my reputation was in competitions. I think I won 8 competitions in my first season, so they probably weren't going to give me 2 chances to save myself. So if I did play in the heroes versus villains or the veto, I would like to say things might have gone differently, seeing what the competitions were. They looked like they might have played to my skill sets, more like the puzzly without being a jigsaw puzzle type, but you can never really be sure you can never really be sure in the game of Big Brother what would have happened, because let's say I win the heroes versus villains competition or the veto, and then Ross gets put up and I have to vote out my friend Ross, which I would have rather me gone home at any other point in this game than Ross.
Yeah, so let's talk about Ross. It was no secret that you and Ross were the closest of allies. Why did you lie down for him this week?
I lied down my sword for him this week just because I saw in his eyes that he was able to win this season. I had my chance in season 1 and I blew it during the questions. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. Was there a bitter jury? Yep. Do I still believe I played the better game than Emma to this day? Yep. But Emma and I are friends outside of the game. I would never say she didn't deserve to win. It's just I had my chance in season 1 and I don't think I don't think anybody would have let me get to the end the same way I did last time. And from the looks of it, they weren't going to let me get to the end at all. I laid my sword down for Ross because if it wasn't going to be me that's going to win, then I would have wanted him to win. If Ross goes out over me this week, then it's me in the game and I'm not going to make it to the end. I want Ross to make it to the end, and his best chance of making it to the end is me sitting right here.
After 2 seasons and 40 days, David, your Big Brother journey has come to an end. Is there anything that you regret, and are you happy with the way that you played the game?
My biggest regret is playing the way I did in season 1. Lying, backstabbing at almost every single opportunity I got. I lied to pretty much everybody in that season, I think. That is my biggest regret. And coming into the season, the biggest thing I wanted to do was veer everyone's opinion away from that, because I didn't want to do that in season 1. I just wanted to win very badly, and I did what I thought I had to do to win. So I think in my own mind, especially with this move right here, I'm rectifying pretty much all the wrongs I committed in season 1 by laying myself down and giving myself up for Ross. And I would say I'm very happy with this end, and I feel very full.
Well, David, in the event that you were the one evicted tonight, your former housemates taped some goodbye messages for you. Take a look.
David, I'm so sorry. I do not believe you were deserving of eviction so soon at all. But I just had to honor my word to Ross after I saved Julia in the veto comp and not him. You will be missed a lot.
Hey David, I'm really sorry you got evicted. It was between you and Ross, and obviously that kind of sucked because, I'm close with both of you in the game. So it was a hard decision, but also, I don't know, I kind of thought that in the future, Ross would probably be a little bit less threat, I don't know. Take it as kind of a compliment, because I knew that you were going to be amazing at comps, because you kind of were telling me you were planning on getting better at them later on. And I don't know, I was kind of threatened by that. I didn't do anything. I wasn't behind this eviction or whatever, but I'm sorry. Bye.
David, didn't want to come down to you and Ross. It was kind of hard to decide which one of you I'm gonna vote out, because I don't know, I was loyal to both of you. Yeah, it was just kind of hard to decide. No hard feelings, obviously, but you're obviously a much better competitor, much better strategizer, so yeah.
Hey David, sorry to see you go this week. I know we weren't the closest allies ever, but I did enjoy working with you towards the beginning of the season, and I hope you have a good year. Bye.
Goodbye, David. I'm gonna go to bed now. maybe not right now, but I'm really tired. I'm just gonna say a joke about, like, you being evicted and, like, me going to bed, like, try and connect the two, but I honestly don't have anything. The camera's this way, and I'm looking over here, because then I can't, I'm, like, looking at myself. Good game. Mwah.
Goodbye, David. Yeah, you were trying to get me out, so Dal wasn't having that. Yeah, we didn't really talk much, but, it was cool when we did, until you wanted me out. So, now you're gone, and that's that. So, goodbye.
Bye, David. I was so sad to vote you out, and I hope you know that if it were literally anyone but Ross, I would have kept you. And I hope that there's a battle back and that you win, because you deserve it more than anyone else.
Hi, David. Sorry I did this to you. I heard about your laying low strategy, and I kind of figured I wasn't gonna be the person you're gonna work with when you kicked it up a notch. So I just did what I gotta do. But there's still bigger fish to fry because I'm at the bottom of everything I learned this week. But now we've both backdoored each other, so we're even.
Hey Foz, hate to see you go. There's no one I trust you in this game the way I trusted you. Hopefully we'll get to play again in these first couple weeks. I think we did great together. I had a lot of fun. We're gonna miss you. Wish I could play more with you. See ya.
Well, David, it's no question that you are one of the biggest legends to ever play this game. Thank you so much for coming back and showing us what you've got once again. Stay right there. When we return, 2 new heads of household are crowned. Stay with us. Welcome back to Big Brother. It's time to crown 2 new heads of household. But remember, by the end of the week, only 1 will remain in power. Let's head to the backyard to get this competition started. Houseguests, the power is back up for grabs. Alex, as outgoing head of household, you are not eligible to compete tonight. This competition is called Vinyl Exam, and here's how it works. This competition will take place in one-on-one matchups. In each round, you will be given song lyrics about a competition this season. You must decide if the competition was HOH, HVV, or POV by hitting the button in front of you. The first person to answer correctly will eliminate their opponent and choose the next 2 houseguests to face off. If you are incorrect, you will be eliminated and your opponent will choose the next 2 and advance. The last remaining hero and the last remaining villain will become the new heads of household. Does everyone understand? All right, then by random draw, Caitlin and James, you will be the first 2 to face off tonight. Here is your song. Put on your hats and your cowboy boots, answer first correctly, and you get to shoot. James locks in first with HOH. That is correct. James moves on. Please select the next 2 to compete. Emma and Juliana, here is your song. Answer questions right as you drive along the highway. The winner of this comp had the fastest ETA. Juliana locks in first with HVV. That is incorrect. The correct answer was POV. Emma moves on. Juliana, you've been eliminated. Emma, please select the next 2 to face off. Luke and Reza, you are next. Here is your song. This competition took quite long, I must confess, as the houseguests were all moving like a knight does in chess. Luke locks in first with HVV. Luke, that is correct. Reza, you have been eliminated. Luke, please choose the next 2 to face off. Bella and Ross, you're next. Here's your song. In this kind of tournament, it's impossible to tie. Solve the letter puzzle. It's an I for an I. Bella locks in with HVV first. The correct answer is HOH. Bella, you have been eliminated. Ross, please select the next 2 to face off. Luke and Julia, you have been chosen to face off. Here is your song. There's been a murder, and I don't know what to do. I will consult my detectives. Maybe they could get a clue. Luke answers first with HOH. That is correct. Luke moves on. Julia, you have been eliminated. Luke, please choose the next two to face off. Emma and Maeve, you're next. Here's your song. Some riveting footage of birds you all saw. They said who, squawk, and cluck, but most importantly, caw. Emma answers correctly first with HOH. Emma moves on. Maeve, you have been eliminated. Emma, please choose the next two to face off. Anthony and Erin, here's your song. The paintings move so fast. Did you get a chance to see them? It's a part of the new exhibit in the Louvre Museum. Erin locks in first with HOH. The correct answer is HVV. Sorry, Erin, you have been eliminated. Anthony, you advance, and please select the next two to face off. Emma and Luke, here's your song. It's not the song from Hamilton, as we aren't in a room. Now that everything is virtual, find who's missing from the Zoom. Luke answers first with POV. Emma, I'm sorry, you've been eliminated, which means congratulations, Ross. You are the hero's head of household. It all comes down to the villains now. James and Anthony, you're up to compete. James and Anthony, here's your song. You are rushing around and have to keep a good pace. To win this comp, you gotta know who makes up the face. Anthony answers first with HVV. I'm sorry, Anthony, the correct answer is POV, which means you have been eliminated, and it is now James versus Luke. James and Luke, here is your final round. 10, 20, 30, no, you need to go up more. To win this competition, you must reach the 100th floor. Luke buzzes in first with HOH. The correct answer is HOH, which means congratulations, Ross and Luke. You are the new heads of household. So, Ross and Luke are once again the new heads of household. Tune in next time to find out which 4 house guests they nominate for eviction to compete in the Heroes vs. Villains competition. Then it's another Power of Veto competition, and one more house guest is evicted. But that's not all, because next week at 9 p.m. Eastern, one of the first 8 evicted house guests will be returning to the game. That's right, either Matt, Dan, Kate, Juliet, Grace, Anthony Hayes, David, or next week's evicted house guest will be returning to the Big Brother house. Tune in next week to find out what happens. For now, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at BigBrother_SS to get more details on upcoming episodes. For now, let's eavesdrop on the house guests. From outside the Big Brother house, I'm Julie Chen Moonves. Good night.